How's it going, everybody? We are going to kick this video off. We're going to go over the exterior, the interior, go over all the modifications that I've done, what I like and what I don't really like. Maybe there's some things on here you guys can help me with too. But let's get this video going, and if you have any questions, please go ahead and throw those down below, and I will try to get a link in the description for each of the locations that purchase this stuff from. So getting this started, usually the first thing I notice about a vehicle when I see it is the wheels and tires that are on it. Now, if you like factory and that's where you're happy with, that's great. If you like really kicked out offset with some major stance wheels, that's great too. Really wasn't what I was going for. I use this truck to tow and commute, and I'm parking it in parking lots, and I'm driving it in town. And even though there's a place for a lot of that, I still wanted to kind of put my own custom touch on it. So I went with the 20x9 Husky Jigsaw wheels with a 0 offset. And you'll see they're wrapped in the Cooper AT3 XLTs, and we'll go over both of those. But first and foremost, I want to say that this offset I really like because with the factory fender flares, it's still got a little bit of a stance to it, and I kind of like that. And they kind of work really well with the theme of the truck that I was just going for. I really wanted that dark look with that Patriot blue color. I just really enjoyed it. So when I got the wheels originally, I was thinking, you know, they were probably going to rub. Honestly, I haven't done anything to the suspension, and the only place I get rubbing is right down in here. I'm going to trim that some more and try and get some things touched up. Maybe push it in with after I get it heated with the heat gun, and I should be good to go. So these do fit on a slightly larger tire. When I got these, they didn't have the decals on the center cap, so I reached out to Husky. They were really good about it. They sent those out right away and fixed it, so the customer service with Husky has been really good. Jumping into the tires, these Coopers, I love these tires. I absolutely love them. Got about 7,000 miles on them. You can see they're wearing really evenly. The siping still looks really good. Sidewalls look good. We've had them rotated once. The weight rating on this tire is 3750-ish single. If you're running them in duals, it's 34 and some change. So just some side info for you guys on that. I am running a 275/65/20, so I went a little bit bigger on the tires, just really to get a little bit of height, get some elevation on it. So really happy with that. Up here on the front tire, these solid front axle trucks, you usually have some weird, you know, uneven wear. These are wearing really, really well, as you guys can see. I know there's lots of reviews on these tires, but I'm really happy with them. When I'm towing, PSI, let's talk about that real quick. Longevity is all about, you know, your tire pressure and how, you know, hard you work the trucks, or if you're using them in road tire rotations and all that sort of thing. Rears, when I'm towing, 80 PSI. When I'm empty, 60, 65 PSI. And I found that combination of the rear, dependent on if I'm carrying anything, towing anything, or anything like that, is really good. I'm getting the best wear results with those tire pressures. Front, I will usually always keep them at 65. However, if I'm going to tow, I move those up to about 70 to 75 PSI. Let's move on to the running boards. These running boards, okay, there's some good and some bad with these. This is where I'm going to get kind of a little negative in my review of these, really. Just because of one thing. And you might be able to see it. We'll throw that in here in a minute. But let's start with the good. The good is these are very light. It's all aluminum, stainless steel mounting brackets, and actually the holders, the mounting plates here, those are steel. So you're gonna want to watch those, and they do mount up underneath the body. That was slightly complicated originally until I figured it out, and then it was cakewalk. But if you want a video on that, we can certainly go through that. So the things that I like about these, I love the power retractable running boards. They look great. My truck didn't come with them. I didn't feel like justifying the cost to get them. These are good. I can touch these up with some flat black paint if I need to. But really, it's the length and the width and the grip on these boards. So in the winter, you know, obviously there's not a lot of snow right now, none. But in the winter, when we, you know, go Midwest, things like that, it's always a nice place to step. You always can step with confidence. And it's solid. It's solid, and they're straightforward, and it's relatively affordable. So when you're talking like $700 to get these shipped to your door compared to some of the other things that are out there, it was worth it to me. thing I don't like. This whole area is not supported with a bracket. Let me tell you why. They sent me 4 brackets per side, and there is no place to mount that 4th bracket underneath here. Now let's talk about the mud flaps. So the mud flaps I got are the Duraflaps. They have the weighted bottom to them. That's the front. Here's the rear. I really, really like these. They are not cheap, but they do protect the underbody of the truck and most of the side. Now I know that I kind of stick out a little bit, so I do get a little bit of water splatter. But overall, there's no paint chips down the side. There's nothing like that because these do their jobs and actually do it really well. What I like about them is they're heavy and they're no drill applications. So install, you got your 3 or 4 mounting points there. They give you an optional one down there too, so that I think they can apply to more vehicles. It works great. They do kind of sit a little crooked, but that's to be expected when all your mounting points are on the inside of the fender using traditional hardware. They do replace the hardware if you decide to do so. They use stainless steel, which is really good. That way you don't get any kind of rust or discoloration. So I used the code Cummins for them when I ordered these, and let me give you a tip. When you order these, give them a call. Go to the website, pull up the number, and call them. It is not intuitive to navigate their website. At least for me it wasn't. So I called them and made sure that I had the right length. These are the standard length. Tyger Tonneau covers. This isn't a brand I heard a lot about. So the guy I work with bought one. He said he loved it, told me to check him out. The price that I paid for this one I think was $180 shipped to my door. That's really good. And there's a few things that you're looking at when it comes to tonneau covers. One, look, right? Some people want them to sit flush. This is not the cover for you. Security, some people want to make sure you can't get into them. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but no matter what kind of cover you have, if someone wants to get in, they will. There are some that work better. This is not that cover for you. However, if you have things in the back that you don't want to be stolen, and I say that kind of stolen, this is a little bit of a better deterrent. It's well built, it's well constructed. All of the stitching all the way around the side is really well done. The fold points, though you have some bulging there, isn't bad at all. It secures really well, and it's got multiple cross members to support weight. It's got your front bar, your rear bar, and 1, 2, 3, 4 running the center, so it's got quite a bit of weight. What I like about it is that you can secure it right on the front by 2 pieces there, and then it's got your security straps or your just in case this thing decides to come loose straps. I don't anticipate that to be happening. I've gone underneath there and tried to tighten them. They're just as tight as they are the first day I got it. So these work. I have this one kind of folded up here, but these work like this. When you pull those down, open it up, there's a little swivel on here that you can twist it up or down and screw it undone so that you can get it set to the tension that you want. Clip it in and you're done. Just the opposite to get it undone. Okay, and then you flip it over. I'm not going to do this side, but you can see it's really straightforward. So I've really liked this cover. Are there better ones out there? Absolutely there are. Is this one for you? Maybe not. But it's worth a look if you're on a budget and you just want to cover your bed. And that's the biggest thing for me. I've always just wanted to keep the bed covered. And also have something that's lightweight that if I want to take it off, it's really easy to do so. Fun thing about Tyger is when they ship this to you, they ship it in a box. And then it's folded, obviously. And then it's in a protective cover. And you can save that protective cover so that if you ever need to take this off, if you're going to be doing towing or you really need your bed, the entire use of it, because when it folds, it's got about from right here to right here is where it's stacked up about that high. So that's the benefit of a roll-up, where it might roll all the way up and give you all the space. This one kind of touches up to about right here. But in my bed or in my truck, I carry the foldable, which I really like. The cover, which I really like. So if we're planning on doing some traveling and things like that, and I don't want that to be in the way, or if I'm going to load this up with whatever I'm going to do, haul a couch, whatever, I can take this off and stow it in a spot where it's going to be taken care of. So that's what I really like about this cover. It's affordable, really, really good quality, and it does the job. let's talk floor mats here real quick. I ended up getting the Husky floor mats. Now, there's always, seems sometimes contentious debate of if you should get Husky or if you should keep OEM or if you should get WeatherTech. Really, whatever covers your floor is better than just the carpet that's underneath it. So do what you feel is good, do what fits your budget. This is what I did with mine. I ended up getting the Husky weather mats. I called Husky directly. When I originally was looking, they didn't have any really available for me online, or at least it looked like it was still in production. So when I called them, they were able to sort that stuff out. I think that's changed since I bought these. I bought these quite a few months ago. But I really like them. I like their customer service. I like their quality. I like how they put time into it. There's various levels of Husky mats. I got the middle of the road one. My biggest thing for going with Husky is they really kind of put like these little teeth all the way down and around on this thing, all over. So once it's in, as well as like these little notches, it's not going to go anywhere. And for example, on the front, when you look at the front, they have these push button units here that kind of push into your existing mounts, plus the teeth all the way up. The reason why I went with these is because when I had WeatherTech, they had the mounting points, but it was smooth everywhere else. And there was a time when I was driving down the freeway and someone slammed on their brakes in front of me. And I moved my foot over, obviously, to engage the brake. And these were undone because the sewing that these went into eventually wore out. And it slid underneath to where I wasn't able to compress the brake. So I ended up having to swerve around it. So I got lucky there. But ever since then, I'm kind of like a little bit picky. And you know what? I mean, I'm sure there's some other things that were done. This was on my previous truck. After that, on my previous truck, I switched to Husky, and I've just kind of carried that over from here. I really like them. They've stood up really well. Midwestern winters. The desert, high desert down here, rocks, mud, rain, spilled coffee, all of it, it works good. Like, you live in your truck for the most part, so you want to make sure that you can use it. The next thing, since we're here, we'll just jump into it, is CTS2, Insight. This is not a tuner. I'm not using it as a tuner, I'm using it as gauges. Now, I understand that I have gauges all over the place in my truck, and it's a nice feature that that Ram offers, to be able to look right down here and have everything that you need. That's great. I have them both up, but if I'm looking at my fuel economy, or if I'm looking at a trip or anything like that, I like to have these up here. And mainly because of the rail pressure. These are CP4 fed. I've had trucks in the past that have been CP4 fed. I always like to see my rail pressure desired versus actual, and then have the standby things here. Oops. Boost is just fun. Turbine wheel speed is fun. Intake air temperature is kind of nice. I like to see where that's at, but to each their own on that. Okay, so that's all I've done to this thing. I haven't done a whole lot to it, and I don't really plan on doing a whole lot to it. I really want it to be used as I purchased it, a functional, usable tool that has form as well. I want it to be my own. I want it to look nice. You don't have to do all of this. There's the wind, I apologize. You don't have to do everything I did. But then again, maybe you might want to see something on here and jump in and try and do something, make it your own, or match it. That's all good. I just want to make sure that you guys have a knowledge of what I did, my thought process behind it, and kind of my motivation on it. By the way, because I know someone's going to ask, Amazon, okay? Just go to Amazon, type in front license plate Cummins, and you'll get a million entries. So if you have any questions, please post them below. I do appreciate you guys following and liking the videos. If there's anything in particular about this truck that you're interested in, I'd be more than happy to go back into it, whether it's how you mount these running boards, or if I find a solution, things like that. So take care of each other, keep an eye out for one another, and help each other. It's not that hard to be a good person. It's actually harder to make the choice not to.